Так, не будемо нікуди бігти. Лефтеріс буде повільно показувати, як користуватися Open Data Cube. І потім Web Application. І ми маємо повторювати це на своїх комп'ютерах, щоб закріпити, щоб протестувати, як це працює. І якщо виникають якісь питання, зразу їх задавайте голосом українською, не треба писати у чаті. Ну і все. А потім ми продовжимо з Нікосом, який нам розповість, як і що працює з Web.js. Навіть якщо ми затримаємо більше часу, то це на нашу користь, тобто нічого страшного. Ми маємо час. Ну, все добре, розпочинаємо. Лефтеріс, будь ласка.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Eleftherios Katsikis. I'm a research assistant in CERT of Greece, and I will present you the PONTOS Data Cube and PONTOS Web Application, which are parts of PONTOS platform. I will show you how to some examples step by step, and I will leave some time between the steps in order to follow the process. Okay. The PONTOS Data Cube is an application that provides satellite data analysis with many different tools. The first step that you have to do is to create an account and log in. You can click to register here, fill the form.
Lefteri, excuse me, please also put the link into chat.
Oh, okay.
Who are not, who has not been registered yet.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you can fill the form, the registration form, in order to create an account. And then click login. Fill the form with the username and password. Login. Now, PONTOS Data Cube contains tools in three different categories: land, water, and general. I will show you an example of each, category. For example, the land, select spectral indices. Select the Ukraine pilot site. Now, first of all, we have to select satellite. For example, the Landsat 8. The maximum value of NDVI. Select start and end date. And select a sub-area inside this orange box in the map. Now click submit. The task has been run. And you will find the results to the task manager. Land, spectral indices. Okay, click details. Well, this is the output with details. You can download the output as an HDF format, and you can see the visualizations in your screen. Next example for the water category is the water detection. Click again to Tools, Water, and Water Detection. Select the Ukraine area. Same steps, select the satellite, the start and end date. And the box inside the orange box, and then click submit. It's a bit slow due to the slow internet connection. The results you will find in the task manager with the same way. Click water detection and details. The outputs is separated into two classes, the water and the land. Next tool from the general category is the custom mosaic. Select area. Select satellite and start the end date. And the box. Submit. In the same way, you will find the results to the task manager. Click details to the tasks. And the image is visualized in the box that you have selected. This was the PONTOS data cube. It also includes some more tools for the land urbanization, spectral anomaly and fractional cover, for the water quality and coastal change, and for general category, the cloud coverage. Now I will present you the PONTOS web application. I will send the link to that.
First of all, let's ask participants, do they have any question regarding Open Data Cube? Does everything work well in your own laptops? I would like to have some feedbacks from the audience who follows the Lefteris. Is everything okay? Or something doesn't work?
Я, на жаль, так не змогла перейти за посиланням. Ну, можливо, це мої якісь...
Чому? Що саме не працює?
Мені браузер видає таке. Ошибка
Я думаю, що це можна не...
Да, ну, просто помилка і все, і доступ заборонено. Ну, можливо, це мої внутрішні проблеми. Я знаходжусь в Херсонській області, мабуть, це якісь тут проблеми.
Зазвичай спершу випадає...
Maybe caused by the browser's settings.
Окей.
Security settings, because the server is in Greece.
А який браузер саме ви використовуєте?
Chrome.
А який саме браузер ви використовуєте?
Google Chrome.
Дар'я?
Так, я використовую Google Chrome.
Ага. Ну, має працювати, якщо інтернет є, інші роботи, працює. Тобто, спершу в мене, коли я запустив цю ссылку, було попередження, що там є якийсь не такий собі контент, і потім внизу є така щось на кшталт кнопки, ви клікаєте, продовжити в...
Так, я знаю, але це, на жаль, в мене, на жаль, не це попередження.
Ну, мабуть, це, да, мабуть, це ваша якась локальна проблема.
Так, дякую.
У інших все працювало, все добре, питань.
Скажіть, будь ласка, Сергію,
Да.
а буде відео з цього?
Так, буде,
Так,
буде.
Добре, дякую дуже.
Тобто, я розумію, що питань нема. Ліфтеріт, будь ласка, продовжуємо.
Okay, thank you. Can I continue with the web application? Sergey?
Yes, Lefter, continue.
Okay. I will send the link of the web application to the chat. Please confirm that you can open it.
Can anybody confirm that is everything okay with this URL that Lefter sent you? Lefter, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. The PONTOS web application.
I would say that when I click lower button login, it doesn't work. It's an error. But if I click login,
Okay, click the upper button and click sign up to create an account.
Так, ага.
And fill the form to log in. The PONTOS web application
Тут
provides.
необхідно знову реєструватися.
Так, здається, так.
Да, необходимо, я уже зарегистрировался, все заходит.
Спасибо, дякую.
Okay, the PONTOS web application provides tools about the in situ, airborne, and satellite data analysis. And we will see some examples in the Ukrainian area. Regarding the in situ data analysis, select services, existing data, in situ data analysis. select area. The first column, select date and time. And the second column, select the parameter that you want to visualize, for example, the temperature. And select the chart, for example, line chart. And then click submit. Now the temperature parameter is visualized across the dates and times. And you will also find the descriptive statistics of this parameter, which you can export as CSV. Let's see another one parameter. Select again the date and time. And the average wind speed, for example, and the line chart, and click submit. So in this chart, you can see the average wind speed, and you can also see the statistics, which you can export as CSV.
А можна запитання?
А вже ж можна, запитуйте.
Yes.
Таке запитання. От ці осереднені, я так розумію, криві змін, вони отримані тільки для всього цього району, або можна вибирати в рамках цього району інший район? Розумієте? Тобто це для Одеського району повністю осереднені дані, я так розумію, у просторі, або для якоїсь точки Одеського району. І чи можна вибирати район в рамках Одеського менший, наприклад, щоб отримати от такі ж осереднені криві у просторі?
This data has been collected from a Meteo station. I don't know the location exactly. Sergey, can you...
Can they submit their own data?
Так, я можу. Так, Юрій, ці дані – це дані з однієї точки. Насамперед, оця система Web Application – це великий репозитарій польових натурних даних, натурних спостережень. Кожен використовувати його, щоб завантажити туди дані і потім зробити якусь візуалізацію тощо. Тобто зараз це просто приклад, як можна візуалізувати дані, які завантажені в Web Application. І насамперед це дані з нашої польової станції, яка розташована була на соняшниковому полі.
Розуміло, але ж наш колега не показав, як обирати цю точку. Тобто я отримую якісь дані, які я не можу прив'язати у просторі. Чому? Це для чого? Так?
Так, давайте спитаємо. Ліфтері, я краще англійською спитаю. Ліфтері, do we have any information regarding what data we use? For example, coordinates or name of the file or attributes of what data we are using, we are visualizing in this repository in Web Application.
I have used some of the data that you have sent to me.
Yes, but how the user can understand what data in this repository and to which region, point, field, and so on, this data is attributed or taken from?
No, but I can add the coordination of the station, you mean?
So I think it's a good question from Yuri that it's better to have any attributes for this data. What is this data, where they're taken, which period covers, and so on. So just add some metadata for this data. And it's better when you, is it possible, for example, in web application, just to look what data we have? I mean, like in the folders or like in a list?
All the in-situ data is stored in a CSV file.
Yes, but if we have 1000 CSV file, how we can choose which one describe which, or connected to each to which region?
We will separate.
I think we need to structure somehow this repository to be used in more efficient way. What do you think?
We can add one more column that will contain the region.
Also, data not data source, but data type. I mean, for example, this meteor data, but it's also possible to upload runoff, river runoff data, and so on.
To upload data the users.
Ну, повинно бути так, тип даних, да? Наприклад, гідрометстанція там Одеса. І тоді буде розуміло, що цей графік відноситься до метеостанції Одеси. Тобто повинна бути географічна прив'язка, або повинні бути всі станції, якісь можливість обирати станції користувачем, для того, щоб построїти єдину цю криву для декількох станцій, за даними там 3-4 станцій.
Yes.
Sergey, can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I think that this application just gives you the tools to do some things. It's not a visual, it's not an application of visualization of data for specific point. So you have to upload your data and see just the visualization. So it fills this gap.
Okay. And for example, if there is already some data, to easily find your data which you upload, I mean, if it's possible, it's better to add at least 3 more columns, let's say type of the data, location, and source, perhaps, but I'm not sure. Because if I upload data, this data will be available for other users, or not? Or it's only for me from my account? How it works?
You have 2 options in the web application.
Yeah.
You can use the data from the pilot site that I have stored to the database, this data, and every user can use his data by uploading his data, fill the form with the area, a name, and choose file, upload the file with the data.
And this data will be available for all users or only for?
No, only for the user that uploaded this data.
Okay. So
it's a tool for you, not the public.
Yeah, but regarding existing data, this data for everyone, which is stored in database, right? Lefteris?
Yeah.
That is
existing data available for all.
Existing data, yes, which is uploaded by, let's say, server manager like Lefteris, is available for all. And for this data, I think it will be very useful, as Yuri suggested, to add type of the some new columns, type of the data, location, and maybe source of the data. Who uploaded, or I don't know.
Сергій Володимирович, а чи можна ще спитати, а чи можна не з одного файлу, а об'єднувати, ну, наприклад, 3 станції, да, от ви завантажите 3 станції, я їх потім єдиного середину криву. Такої немає, не передбачається? Або на один графік 3 файли.
automatically. I don't know, Lifteri, what do you think? If we have, for example, 3 files from 3 meteo stations for the same time period, can this application average and draw one graph, average graph from 3 stations?
Yeah, if we merge all the data in one file.
No, from 3 files, but merging while drawing. Is it possible or not? System works only with 1 file.
No, this data is visualized by 1 file only.
Сергій, хоча б 3 файла на один графік.
No, Yuri, it's not possible if you compose all this data files. So you make your handwork before for averaging, and then this tool is only for. This is, let's say, supplementary tool. Just
Я спитав без зосереднення. 3 криві на один графік з 3 станцій.
No, only 1 line is possible for this graph.
Okay.
Okay, let's go further, Lefteris. Thank you.
Okay. Next tool is the airborne data analysis. If you click service existing data, you can visualize airborne data. Select Ukraine, date, and the band that you want to visualize, and click submit. It needs some seconds to be visualized. Well, this is the visualization of a drone image with some information. You can see the location of this image if you click show location on the map. This is the location. And you can download these images as the OD4PNG format. With this data, you can also calculate indices like the NDVI Index. Click existing data, airborne data NDVI, the Ukraine area, and select date, and click submit.
Это будет долго, там огромные снимки.
Нічого, почекаємо. Lefteri, also for this option, I think it's also makes sense to add 2 more column, let's say a type and location. For example, if we have mosaics from different regions, from different areas, that user can easily choose the proper one.
Okay. Well, now we have visualized the NDVI index. As you can see, with the green color is the vegetation, and brown color that means that there is no vegetation. And you can also download these outputs to your laptop. Next tools are about the satellite data. You can also use these tools for the airborne data by uploading your data, using the option upload data and visualize or NDVI or NDVI Index. Regarding the satellite data, we have tools like the water mask, which detects the water and the land in an area. The water mask is a long time process, so the task running in the background when you click submit in select the date and click submit.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs about 1 hour to be executed, so you can close application and you will find the results to the task manager when it's completed. As you can see, this is the output. In this image, the open water and the land has been detected. Next time, we will merge also the workflow to detect the floating and emergent vegetation. It will be merged soon. And finally, there is one more module, the hydro period. Select area, select start and end date, and click submit. Then the algorithm will take all the data that are available between these dates, the start and end date, and calculate how many days there was water in each pixel of the image. It also needs a lot of time to be calculated, so you will find the results in the task manager while it's completed. Click hydro period, select the executed task, and click details. So this is the output, and if you download the hydro period as GOT format and open it in JS software, you will see the value of each pixel, which shows the number of the number of the days that there was water in the specific pixel. Okay, this was the PONTOS web application and the tools provided for the Ukrainian site. Do you have any questions?
Terry, what about phenology metrics and phenology changes?
We have an example for the Greece now. I can show you.
Yeah, if it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, the Phenology Metrics. Phenology Metrics module calculate three different categories: the day of the green up in each period, the day of the senescence in each period, and the day of the maximum value of NDVI in each period. These three images are the outputs, and the color represent the day of the year. If you download the output as GOT format, you can also open it in JS software and see the value of each pixel, exactly the number of the day of the year. Also, there is the Phenology Changes module, which detects the time of the year of the biggest change in each area and the number of changes that occurred in the phenology in this area.
Okay, are these images already processed and uploaded to the system or processed by the system itself?
These images are already processed because this algorithm needs over 2 days to
Okay, I see. I see. So this is Images, final images. Mhm.
So we have to produce the phenology metrics for all sites and upload the results, the completed, the ready maps to the web application in order to visualize in 1 second and don't need the user to wait a lot.
Uh-huh. And those images looks like PNG, but not GeoTIFF.
There are PNG, but you can download also the GeoTIFF image
Uh-huh.
and open it in a JS software because the browser cannot
Okay.
visualize GeoTIFF images.
Ah, okay, I see. Thank you.
А
Okay,
є десь
questions?
опис, як інтерпретувати ці результати?
Can you repeat how to?
Ну, от я, як не дуже продвинутий
This
користувач,
phenology result.
дивлюсь на ці малюнки, і я не розумію добре, як інтерпретувати. От що це про що свідчить ці різні кольори? Роки різні, ну не зовсім
Each
зрозуміло.
color is a specific year, and the color that there is in its place is the year that the biggest change occurred.
In phenology, in vegetation cover, you mean? This is for a forest area, I think, yes?
Yes, yes. And the other image
Ну, так
is
у мене
the
було
number of
запитання
change.
таке, чи є десь текст, який дозволяє користувачу ознайомитись з тим, як можна використовувати ці дані, що на них є.
Руководство пользователя, грубо говоря.
Так.
Instructs.
Руководство пользователя для інтерпретації.
We will provide you a manual of these applications with an analytical explanation.
Давайте я скажу українською, що планується десь наприкінці проєкту видати мануал, як користуватися також платформою PONTOS. І оці ваші зауваження, я сподіваюся, будуть враховані. І буде якийсь таке керівництво, мануал, що робить, що можна робити в кожному модулі, і які результати ми отримаємо, що мається, що це за результати і як їх можна трактувати. Здається, що в цьому модулі Web Application нам дійсно потрібні метафайли, метадані, щоб щоб користувач зміг чітко зрозуміти, що це за дані, з якого району і як їх трактувати, де їх взяли, з використанням якого методу. Так, це потрібно. Я згоден з вами. Okay, Lefteris, thank you very much for your presentation and for your training. And I think for now, at least, everything is more or less clear. And I think we can go further with Nikos.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
From me, let me share my screen.
Nikos shared the link in the.
Yes, I already saw the link. You see my screen?
Yes, everything fine. We see it.
So as you understood, Lefteris provides you with two platforms that gives you the tools to do things. to make the calculations that you want, like NDVI, NDWI, or other parameters. What I will show you is a WebGIS. So what this does means, what this does is that gets all the data that are already calculated and upload them to a map without doing anything at all. So you don't need any account, you don't need a manual to follow to visualize anything here. You have just to click buttons, nothing more. But at least I have to show you some of the tools that this platform has, just to make it easier for you. So as you can see, when you open this URL in your browser, you will get a map of Greece, of course, initially, but you can change this. So you have this header, this navigation bar, as it's called, where you can find you can find the PONTOS logo and the PONTOS, and if you click on this PONTOS logo, you will be redirected to the PONTOS webpage, where you can find many information about the project, about this project, but you have also a button at the top right of the page, which is called information. So if you click on this, you will get some information about this project and about the partners that are in this project. And also you have another button, or a drop-down menu, as it's called, where you can select the area that you want to see, or you want to navigate. So if you open this page in your browser, you will get everything translated to English, to the English language. But we plan until the end of the summer to translate everything in your language, or basically in the language that the browser is configured to. So what it will does is that the web page will recognize the language that your system is, and will translate everything to this language. So everything will be translated to your language. So first of all, let me select the Ukraine region. And when I will do this, I'm sorry for the slow of everything, because my internet connection is not very good, because I am in a remote area. So when I select the Ukraine region, the maps will fly to the region that you have selected, and you will see the map of Ukraine. Of course, you can change this map, this base map, as it's called, with this globe down here at the lower right part, where you can select between different base maps. This is done, you can do this to give different publications of these maps in different stakeholders. So if I select the satellite base map, I will get the area, the satellite image of this area. Of course, we can zoom in and zoom out in our area. So you have just to scroll with your mouse, with your mouse button, with your central mouse button, or you can click these two buttons in the upper left corner, zoom out or zoom in, and you will zoom out or zoom in the area. This is the main tools right now that you see in this map. But there is another here, there is another tool that is called opacity controller. So when you load a layer in the map, you can change the opacity of this layer, or the transparency if you don't understand what opacity is. And let me show you each of these layers that are already uploaded to this WebGIS platform. First of all is the topography layer. So when I click on this button, I have to wait for at least maybe your internet connection is much more faster than my internet connection. So you can see this by these tiles that are loaded very slowly. Maybe let me refresh my page. Maybe it's better. But as I am refreshing the web platform, you can navigate with yourself. You just click on buttons, and you will get each of these layers loaded into the base map. Then I will click on topography again. I will wait a bit. When it will be loaded, you can left click on a point on the map, and you will get the coordinates of this point and the value of this point for this layer. So if the topography is loaded on the map, I will see that for the coordinates 45 and 30, I will get a height of 31. And of course, the loaded layer will have this color range that you can see on the left part of the map, where is the legend. You can see that is the layer is topography and the color range here. But if you don't like this legend to be appear, you can click on this, and this will be hidden. Of course, you can click again and the legend will appear. I'm sorry for my internet connection. Let me choose another layer, like the bathymetry layer. This is much more faster. You can see that the bathymetry layer is loaded on the map. Still, I can just click on a point and I will get the value of this point as long as the coordinates of this point. So it's good for you. The next layer is the hydrology layer. So when I click on this, one of the major rivers of the area will be loaded on the map. You can just go on the river and you will get the name of the river translated in the local language, but this will change to the language of your browser, of course. So what I can do here is just click on the river, and I will get a graph of the river discharge of this river. This data comes from Hypeweb, I mean from the Smith Institute. So you can see that this data is for a period of 1981 to 2010, and with my mouse I can do everything here. So it's an interactive graph. Of course, I can select another period or another, or the whole time period. I can do this with these buttons up here too. So I select here to see all the data, or 1 year, I mean, the last year of this data, or from then to now. So I don't have any data from 2010 to 2020, but still I can get the forecast data for this river. So I have just to click on this forecast button, and the data will be loaded to this graph. So as you can see, I will get the river discharge for this river, but forecast data of river discharge. So as you can see here, I have my mouse on July 25, I mean on Monday, and I can see that this river will have a river discharge of 93 cubic meters per second. Of course, you can download this data, so, or this image, if you like it like this. You have just to click on these 3 lines up here, where you can print it on your printer, of course, or you can download this on raster format like PNG or JPEG, or in vector format like PDF or SVG, but you can download the data too on a CSV or XLS format to do whatever you want with this data. This is the hydrology layer. The next layer is the land cover layer. This is a new layer. You can see the land cover in the area of Ukraine, in the area that you want. You can just zoom in, and a new map will be loaded. You can see that everything is more refined, and you can see what you are viewing by just looking at this legend here. So you can see that this red color means that you have a build-up area. The next layer that I will show you is the coastal behavior. So this layer is based on a methodology that we developed here in DUF. And you can see the erosion or accretion at the coastline of this area of Ukraine. This methodology were applied by Sergey, by our partners. So when you click on it, there will be loaded transects in the coastline, close to the coastline, and you can just hover over these transects and you will see what's going on there. So if I go on this red transect, I can see that I have a coastline erosion of 21 meters, but still I can see by the color this on this legend. Or if I go to this blue transect, I can see that I have a coastline accretion by 35 meters, and I can confirm it from this legend. But if this is not enough, I can just click on this new button that was loaded here, the coastline movement rate. As you can see, when I hover my mouse over a button, I get information about what this button does, or at least a mini description of what this button does. So when I hover over the new transect, like this one, I can see that I have a coastline erosion at a rate of 0.83 meters per year. So I can have a clue about what is happening there and how fast is happening in this coastline region. This is the layers that refers to the land, at least most of them, except the bathymetry. And the next layers are the ocean layers, as we call them. So the first of all is the water temperature. So when I click on this, the water temperature will be loaded on the map, and you can see that we have 2 new controls here. The time control, where I can select time at the past, and the new water temperature will be loaded, or a time at the future, and we get the new data. And a new control up here where I can select the depth that I want to see the data. So if I select a depth of, let's say 25 meters, new data will be loaded on the map, I mean of the water temperature, of course. And of course, if you click on a point, you will get the value and the coordinates of this point of water temperature at 25 meters depth. You can do the same thing with the salinity layer. You can get the data.
Можно ли скачать эти данные смоделированные?
Yes, this time it's not possible, but behind this platform there is there are OGC services. So this means that you can import this data in the QGIS. I can show you after the presentation of the layer how to do this in QGIS, and I will provide you the URLs to do this in QGIS. Is it okay for you, or I have to implement something more?
Спасибо.
Okay,
Спасибо, да.
Yeah, I understand this. The next layer is the water level. As you can see, I still have this time controller, but I miss this depth controller button because, as you can understand, this is water level. So water level is just at the surface of the sea. I still can click on a point and get the value for this time and for this point specific. And there is nothing more I can show you in here, but the next thing I can show you is the currents data. So I still have this time control here, but I don't have the depth control. I will change the base map just to be more beautiful, to see it better. So you can see that the currents are loaded in a more animated way, and I can just hover an area and over the time.
Да. І друге, тут немає масштабу цих стрілок, або як там, не зрозуміло.
I don't have any.
Наскільки це більше, менше?
You mean that the legend is missing? Something like that?
Да, нема, тут неможливо ідентифікувати швидкість течії. Ну, наскільки вона більше, менше, масштаб цих векторів.
Yes, that's the weird thing, because you don't need any.
І друге запитання.
Yeah.
Ну, як це не потрібно? Я ж повинен знати, наприклад, що велика стрілка – це 10 см в секунду, а менше – це 2 см в секунду, або якийсь інший масштаб використовується. Тут же масштабування одне.
So, okay, that's okay that we're talking about, but you have to know that. Yes, I don't have any translation. So you have to know that when the value is very big, these animated particles will be faster. And when the value is very low, they will be very, very slower. So you can see if I go closer to this map, you can see that this area here, we have faster particles of 0.2 meters per second, but here the value is at 0.1 meters per second, so the particles are much slower. Still, I can add a layer. That's why I didn't add any legend to this. And you can see it in other regions. So I can do, I can find because, yes, here. You can see here that I have much faster particles here. And you can see that the speed is 0.3 meters per second. So that's why we did not add any legend.
Вже зрозуміло, дякую.
Yeah.
Можна теж,
Okay.
можна
We have an animated way to show some things to the waves too, but we have a totally different animation. Yes, you can see that it looks like waves that are propagating in the sea. You can see this. I can go closer and you can see the waves that are propagating. And of course, you can see the direction of the waves that are coming from and the wave height at this point just by hovering over a point. The next layer that I can show you is the seagrass layer. Sorry for hidden connection.
І прошу вибачення,
Yes.
можна питання?
Yes.
Да. А звідки ці дані щодо хвилювання та швидкості течії? Звідки вони були?
They are coming. Yes.
Дякую.
Yeah, I understood that. So they are coming from the Copernicus Marine Service for the Black Sea region. It's they are produced from the
можна якийсь датасет, саме який використовувався з Copernicus Marine Service, бо там дуже багато датасетів. Посилання, якщо можна.
I'm not sure about the name of the data set, but they are the forecast data of the physics model of Copernicus dataset for marine, for Black Sea region. I'm not sure about the name. Is it okay?
I can add that this data, this is a real-time data taken from Copernicus. This is not a data set stored. This is a real data set, which is currently taken right now from the Copernicus system and visualization in the PONTOS platform.
Yes, yes. There is a middle step, but
Дякую. Я чому питаю, тому що мені цікаво, де я можу саме завантажити дані з географічною прив'язкою, щоб я мог обробити ці там течії за їх напрямком.
Yes, of course. I didn't told you about, but maybe I can select another region here. So if I load a layer, you can see at the bottom part here from where the data is. So I can just click on this URL and redirect to the platform that where the data will taken from, will retrieve from. Okay. So the next layer, as I told you, is the seagrass layer. You can see the seagrass in your region. You can just click on a point, and of course you can get the scientific name of this seagrass, as long as the coordinates of the point that you have clicked on. And the last layer is the wind layer. So you can see the wind in your area with this animated way. This data comes from GFS model. As you can see, we still have this time control. We can see the future if we want. And we can see the direction and the wind speed of a point just by hovering over this point. But still there is a hidden part here. The hidden part is that you can just click on a point. I'm sorry, you have to just right click on a point, and you will get a synoptic weather description of the area from the closest weather station of this area for the moment, for this time, for now, I mean. These are the layers that they are uploaded on this WebJS. Let me share my screen again to show you how to use this QGIS, this QGIS import of these layers. I believe that you can see my QGIS. And but confirm. Okay.
Так, видно. Видно, видно.
Yes. So, okay, thank you. So, I will add a WMS service. I'm sorry, but these Zoom buttons hide me things. So, yeah, as you can see, all the layers, at least most of them are loaded here. Let's select the bathymetry layer. I can just add the bathymetry layer just by selecting it and click on add. You can see that everything is loaded on the map, as long as you can see things very well, but as long as the legend here. And of course, if you click on a point with, I'm sorry for this, with this button, you will get in HTML format the point that you have clicked and the value at this point. And of course, there are not only WMS layers, I mean raster layers, but they are also vector layers like this. You can see that if I let me select the erosion in Ukraine, I can add this to QGIS just by selecting it and add it, and let it finish because it's a big one. So when it will finish, the transects will be uploaded in the QGIS. I don't know why, but there should be colors here, but I will fix it. So
Можно вопрос?
Yes, and of course, if you click it, because it's a vector, you get everything that you have that were calculated for this transit, for this layer.
Вопросик можно?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Этот слой подключается в QGIS у всех, или это надо знать, подключать его из базы именно в рамках проекта PONTOS? То есть он доступен в любой QGIS?
Воно теж цікавить, от цей слой батиметрії, наприклад.
Yes, it's available from anyone that has QGIS, but I have to provide you the URLs, and of course these URLs are public, so it's available for everyone.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Okay, if we don't have any more questions.
Так, це не необхідна URL, да, щоб завантажити тут онлайн шар з ботинець.
Yes, I
Тому що я
will.
завантажував через міжнародні сервіси, скачував там, завантажував, потім підключав через растер, додати растер до QGIS.
It's up to you. I don't know, but I can share you the URL.
А як можна отримати тоді цей URL?
Yes, I have just sent it. This is for the WMS, and of course, this is for the WFS. So there are OGC services, and right now we have WMS, WMTS, WFS, and some REST services, but you are not able to.
А можна ще раз показати, як додавати цей URL?
Import this into QGIS.
Да, в QGIS, в дійсні,
Yes.
так.
Okay, I will show to you. I have just to copy this URL. I have to go to layer, add layer, WMS or WFS based on the URL that you have copied. So let's select WMS. Up here, have to input new. Just paste the URL in the URL field, give a name like the node test, and okay, and that's it. And if you click on connect, this will be you will get all the layers.
Це адресою можна постійно користуватися, да? За URL адресою.
Yes, I believe, yes. Sergey, can you confirm this?
For now, I think so, but if the system will move to the Armenian, probably we can provide another one. What do you think, Nikos?
Yes, but I think that this system will not be transferred to Armenia.
А тут є течії є. Дякую.
Одне таке, завжди робіть посилання на платформу PONTOS і на проєкт, якщо ви
Зрозумів. Да, так, звичайно, дякую.
With a link to PONTOS platform, yeah.
You're talking to me? No.
Any more questions to Nikos or Lefteris? I think no more questions, and I will switch to Ukrainian. I would say many thanks to our speakers, to Nikos and to Lefteris.
Thank you, Sergey.
Да, і всім присутнім. Я сподіваюся, що цей тренінг був інформативним і що ви почнете сьогодні використовувати цю платформу майже кожного дня. Можливо, у когось є якісь коментарі або...
Сергій Володимирович, маленький коментар. Побажайте, як стейкхолдер. Я вважаю, що необхідно дуже детально продивитися, щоб кожний сервіс мав свою легенду, щоб на нього можна було посилатися. Ну, наприклад, от там поля течій, да?
Да.
Течії, от тільки Євген прокоментував, що вони поверхневі. І далі, ну, якщо не знати деталі, як розраховувалися ці поля течії, там посилання, то я не можу використовувати ці поля в своїй роботі. Та ви знаєте, в науковій роботі, або якщо це якийсь інженерний проєкт, потрібно мати точне посилання, що там, як і як отримати. Тому я предлагаю, я розумію, що, як говорять, по-російськи свистеть не строїть, да, но от на це потратити час для того, щоб було зрозуміло, що саме знаходиться на тих малюнках, які ми бачимо, і які ми їх могли обґрунтовано використовувати.
Извините, можно тоже добавлю, что к Юрию Степановичу, к его сказаному. Те, що на Марін Коперніку сервісі, там, якщо ви завантажуєте дані з датасетів у вигляді там растрів, георастрів, так, там є вибір глибини течії, на якої глибині модель, яка глибина цікавить, таку можна задати, щоб скачати, завантажити ці там швидкість та напрямок течії. Тому ось також і не зрозуміло було, це поверхневі або це там на глибині, там на якоїсь глибині.
Дякую. Тобто, резюмуючи,
І ще, якщо можна, запис відео.
Нам потрібна більш детальна легенда, більш детальні метадані, що це саме за дані візуалізуються.
Для уминання помилок при інтерпретації.
Окей.
Стейкхолдери, да?
І, якщо можна запис, я перепрошую, що я втручаюся.
Запис буде доступний всім учасникам, але за декілька днів, не за, можливо, наступного тижня.
Дякую.
Нікас, що ви думаєте по поводу цього, по поводу додання більш детальної легенди, щоб оминути якісь помилки?
Yes, I totally agree with, I don't know the name, I can't read it, but yes, I totally agree with you. But you have to consider that this platform is still under development, so thank you for your comments.
Так, ще раз ми дякуємо теж зі свого боку, від імені всій команді. Що ти не то робиш, Інна?
Сергій Володимирович.
PONTOS Україна і міжнародного консорціуму. Я дякую всім присутнім. І наостанок я хотів би нагадати всім, що наступного тижня нами буде проведено тренінг щодо використання даних дистанційного зондування землі для використання в екологічному моніторингу. Тобто ми почнемо з отримання супутникових знімків, далі обробка SNAP і обробка з використанням інструменту Semi-Automatic Classification плагін. Тобто долучайтеся, чекаємо на всіх зацікавлених 26 і 27 липня. Гарного дня!
Я перепрошую, а що від нас може бути необхідним, потрібно там встановити, ясно, Vue.js, там, щось. Ми можемо якось підготуватися для...
Так, за декілька днів, я так розумію, що десь в неділю ми надішлемо посилання з необхідними, що треба зробити, що треба встановити із тими матеріалами, тими файлами або знімками, якими будемо використовувати. Так, Євген?
Так, дякую.
Добре.
Дуже цікаво та корисно було. Це супер просто. Семінар. Дякую.
Все, дуже дякую ще раз всім. Гарного дня, слава Україні, побачимось.